So if I understand a customer's journey, I can personalize it to that differentiated shopping experience and really feel like it's authentic. And again, it's easier said than done. I get that. But if you think of data as a cornerstone, and we'll talk about that more, that to me is how good brands are differentiating that experience.
Yeah, I want to jump into that a bit because it's important, specifically in retail, starting at the very forefront from that first click all the way to the product itself and how quickly it gets to the consumer. It's all going to be very important because every retail transaction is a one-to-one customer interaction.
Right.
But enabling that customer-centric engagement across all shopping touch points requires more than just transaction capabilities. So I'm sure you've seen this a lot. You're touching on it just now. What are you seeing with savvy retailers, and what are they doing to really bridge this gap?
Yeah, it's about the data intelligence. I rarely walk into a client of mine that says, "Oh, we don't have enough data," or "We haven't collected the data." But data in itself is nothing without insights and intelligence to that data. So it's, are you able to translate the data into insights and intelligence that help inform a different experience? I'll have customers say, "Well, if you just give me this data or this kind of report, it'll be great." And I say, "Well, what are you going to do different with it if I give that to you? And how are you going to make different decisions about that experience?" So I think the tools and the data need to be integrated so that you have intelligence, and then understanding also kind of a step back and saying, what is the, going back to what is the journey, right? What's the consumer first retail journey look like? And I think you have to be willing to look at both qualitative and quantitative data, go out and do focus groups, go out and do intercept studies, go out and do surveys, and then take the data you have and marry those two together. Retailers that understand how to put those two together are really fulfilling that promise of personalization. Here's another good example. I go into a retailer and I'll talk to groups, and they'll say, "Well, we only own the e-commerce channel, so we really only care about what happens in the e-commerce channel and the customer data we have there and how we're serving it up." And then the physical store team says, "Well, we only care about the physical store and the customers that come into there." And then you have the call center. And I asked them, why is that, right? You need to be cross-functional. It's a team sport to personalize a customer experience. So they don't care what channel you serve on the back end. They want to have that similar experience, which means we got to break down not only the silos, but the data that lives in those silos and start to share data so that whatever happens in store happens online and we have a complete picture of that customer. Retailers that get that are bridging the gap and having success.